What's going on, everybody? UFC 318 goes down this Saturday. Holloway versus Porier. Poirier's last fight. Maybe. We never know. He might come out of retirement some years down the line. But anyway, the last time we will see Dustin Porier square off into the cage. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. We're going to break down the card from bottom to the top. Let's get into it. Friday to kick off the prelims, early prelims, we got Carly Judas versus Nicole Cagliari. Now, one is 4-2, one is 8-3. Both are coming off. One's coming off of a win, one's coming off of a loss. Judas is coming off the win. Cagliari's coming off the loss. Looks like Judas is going to have a little bit of a size advantage. She's 4 inches taller, and it looks like she's going to have a 5-inch reach advantage and a 5-inch leg advantage right there. I'm gonna bet young. I'm gonna bet young here. Young, durable, tall. Hopefully she can stay on the outside. She's coming off of a win, so she's got a little bit of momentum on her side. I'm gonna go young rather than experience here because 8-3, coming off a loss. You know, you're 8, 9, 10, 11. This is gonna be your 12th fight, and you're pretty much opening the UFC fight card, right? And it's not like that's a bad thing, but 12 fights into your career, you're coming off of a loss, and it's the first fight of the night. I'm going to go young gun, Carly Judas with the 4-2 record. I don't know any of these girls. I don't know either one. I've never seen any. I think I've seen Cagliari fight. Her face looks familiar, and it didn't impress me. I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to go Carly Judas off of trying to stay long, trying to stay on the outside. Don't let Nicole get on your legs. Don't let her get to you. And, yeah, I think Carly is going to do the commit to her game plan a little bit better. I think she's going to have better striking. I think she's going to go in there, and just be nice and long. And, yeah, she's either going to win by knockout or just dominate all 3 rounds. Next up, we got Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McVeigh. I'm going to be going Bruno Ferreira. He's pretty good. He is coming off of a win in his last fight. I think Jackson McVeigh, he's also coming off a win. He's undefeated. This might be his first fight in the UFC. I'm not too sure on that. Yeah, I think it's his UFC debut. Bruno Ferreira is really good. He has fought. He beat Armen Petrosyan. He lost to Magomedov. I forget the dude's first name, and then he beat Stoltzfus in the round 1 knockout I've seen before. He beat Hawes by round 1 knockout. I remember watching that fight. And yeah, he lost to Ruzabev, whatever his name is, by knockout in round 1. But he's also knocked out RoboCop. So I think Bruno Ferreira is going to win probably by first or second round knockout if he goes in there and strikes with them. He's got double the fights, over double the fights as Jackson McVeigh. Jackson McVeigh kind of just looks like, I'm not going to be talking shit, just looks like a little, hillbilly country boy from the countryside who is probably just a little scrappy, you know what I mean? So Bruno's probably going to have a little bit of a handful with that, but I think Bruno Ferreira is going to win this fight. He's fought the who's who of the middleweight division. He's fought a lot of really good guys, and he's beaten a lot of really good guys. Jackson McVeigh, going against someone like that in your debut, I just don't see it happening. I got Bruno Ferreira by knockout or TKO. Next up, we got Ryan Spann versus Lucas Brzezinski. Now, I'm going Lucas Brzezinski. Ryan Spann, he's just, he's up, he's down. You never know when he's going to win. You never know when he's going to lose. He's fighting at heavyweight this time. There's fights where it looks like he's like the complete package, and then there's fights where it's like, what are we doing? What's going on here? Like, I just don't understand it. I used to really like Ryan Spann. Not that I don't like him anymore. What I should say is that I used to have a lot of faith. I was riding the Ryan Spann hype, especially when he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be training a lot more than I used to," and then he went and knocked out. Who was it? Dominic Reyes, right? Was it Dominic Reyes after he was talking about how he doesn't really train and now he's gonna be training a lot more, and then he just knocks the dude out? I forget it was a couple years ago, right? Like, I don't really remember. Yeah, Dominic Reyes, when he knocked out Dominic Reyes in a minute, and then he loses to Krylov, loses to Anthony Smith, beats Guskov, beats Ovince St. Preux, loses to Waldo, right? Got knocked out by Waldo, submits Ovince St. Preux, which isn't really too great of a feat, knocks out Guskov. But he lost to Waldo Cortez, which is the boy, AZ repping. He lost by knockout. And then over here on the other side, Brzezinski, let's see who he's fought. He has lost to Njokuanu, I forget it, I don't know how to say his name, Parkin. And he actually beat Walker, who beat Njokuanu. So I think I'm going to go Brzezinski. I think he's due for a win. He's lost 2 in a row. Lost by KO, lost by decision. I don't see him losing this fight. But, dude, honestly, at the same time, he's 9-6. So, he doesn't win fights either, right? I wouldn't bet on this fight just because it's so up in the air. And if I did have to put money on it, like, bro, part of me just doesn't want to put money on Ryan Spann. But also, like, looking at this dude's record, like, I don't want to put money on this guy either. I wouldn't put money on this. I wouldn't put it in a parlay. Somehow they both lose the fight. That would be the best, the best outcome. But I think I'm going to be going Brzezinski. If I'm wrong, I don't care. The fight is so up in the air. It literally could be either guy's fight. Probably by a knockout somewhere in the fight. Maybe Ryan Spann could get, a nice athletic combo going. A nice 1-2 down the pipe where he's looking semi-athletic and knocks out Brzezinski, or maybe just Brzezinski uses his natural heavyweight abilities and just overloads Ryan Spann and comes out with some kind of decision, maybe. Who knows? Ryan Spann is big. He's 250. It's 250. He used to be a 205er. He's 250 now. So I don't know if he's out of shape or what, but Lucas is a natural heavyweight, so that's kind of what I'm going to be taking into consideration here. All right, next up, we got Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio. I think I'm going to go Marcin Prachnio. Dude's pretty good. Jimmy Crute's good, too. Don't get me wrong. He's only 12-4. But kind of like the same thing with Ryan Spann. Like, he's good, and then he's not good, then he's good, then he's not good. It's so weird. Prachnio has come off of a loss. He's up and down in his UFC career as well. He lost to Bukauskas by submission. He beat Clark, who's pretty good. Clark's not that bad. Lost to Petrino by submission as well. And let's see Jimmy Crute's past couple fights here, shall we? Because he's coming off of a draw. I forget with who. Oh yeah, Bellato, the dude who should be fired from the UFC for being such a wimp, for being such a sissy baby. And then he got submitted by Menfield, which is actually kind of crazy. And then he had a draw with Menfield. So he's coming back. He's coming off of a draw. And then he lost to Jamal Hill. And he lost to Anthony Smith. Dude has not won a fight in forever. Holy shit. He's on a 5 fight skid where he has not won a fight and or lost a fight. He hasn't won a fight in his past 5 fights. So that's not good. So I'm going to be going Prachnio. Jimmy Crute might be wanting to go in there and get, be too anxious to get the win, and then he might put himself in danger, right? That's always a possibility. Can't deny that. So I'm going to go Prachnio for that one. I think he's going to, it could be a war, too, on the feet. Like, Jimmy Crute is no slouch on the feet or on the ground, but I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Prachnio gets it done with a decision victory. Next up, we got Adam Fugit and Islam Dulatov. And Adam Fugit. What? No way. Am I tripping, or Islam Dulatov is 1-0? He's 1-0? Am I really, tripping? They're just fucking signing any fucking Russian guy that comes out of Dagestan? What is he? Is he a striker? Is he a fucking wrestler? How am I supposed to... Yeah, he's a wrestler. Oh my god, he's 1-0. Okay, so this is the thing, right? We don't know a lot about him. We don't know if he can fight 3 hard rounds against a vet that's 10-4, coming off of a win. He's taller, right? We don't know if he could wrestle 3 hard rounds if Fugit can fucking survive. But the thing with Fugit, whatever, is he's coming off of a split decision win against Quinlan, who is not the greatest fighter of all time, and he lost to Mallet by submission. Yeah, we might have to go with the 1-0 guy, bro. Like, we just might have to go with the 1-0 guy. He got knocked out by Michael Morales. He got a knockout against Kinoshita. I don't really remember that fight, but I do remember the Quinlan fight. Quinlan's just not that great. Dude, I think we might have to go with Islam, because if Homeboy got submitted 2 fights ago and Islam's like a wrestler kind of deal, I think he goes in there, wrestle fucks him, maybe gets his back, chokes him out, maybe gets a guillotine. But if that doesn't work, don't expect, or you should expect Islam to gas out, maybe, right? If he goes in there hot, fast, ready to go, goes in there, gasses himself out because he can't get any strikes going on the ground, or he's just, in a bunch of different scrambles, or if he can't get a submission going, or maybe he gets close to a submission and just squeezes his arms, all of his stamina away, I could see Islam losing that fight by gas out. But I'm going to go Islam by submission or decision, just a battering, We'll see. All right, next up, we got Atiba Gauthier and Robert Valentin. I don't know either of these guys, to be honest. I can't lie. I've never seen either of these guys fight. Maybe I've seen the white boy fight. Dude's coming in off of a DWCS, Dana White Contract Series. He's coming off of a win. I'm just gonna go with the Cameroon. You can't, bet on black, right? When in doubt, bet on black. That's what I'm gonna say. He doesn't even have fight shorts on. He's got fucking gym shorts on. Yeah, we're going with the fucking gym short Cameroonian, dog. That fool looks like he's about to, dude. Oh my god, he literally looks like a mini Francis Ngannou. I'm not trying to glaze right here. I'm getting a little hard. Anyway, yeah, we're going to go Atiba Gauthier for probably looks like he might knock this dude out. I'm just saying. He looks like he's the type to knock a dude out. All right, next up, I know these guys. We got Francisco Prado and Nikolai Veretinnikov. Kazakhstan versus Argentina. Well, Ukraine versus Argentina. This is going to be a really good fight. Nikolai is 12-6. Prado is 12-3. Prado's got really good boxing on the feet. He's got, pretty decent ground game as well. His last fight, he lost to Jake Matthews. The fight prior to that, he lost to Zellhuber. Jake Matthews, like I said in the previous breakdown, he's coming into his own, right? He's finally figuring everything out. He's had a long career, ups and downs, but I think he's finally figuring everything out where he's getting better on the feet and better as an all-around MMA fighter, right? So I do remember that fight with Matthews. Matthews did look really good against Prado, and I bet Prado to win. And just like, dude, literally just like MMA Guru said, when you bet against Jake Matthews, he wins. When you think he's going to win the fight, he loses. Hey, not that time, though. I picked it right. When he was fighting Chitty, I said, hey, he's going to go in there and showcase his whole MMA skills, because you can't strike with Chitty. You just can't. He's not going to. You have to do what he did to Chitty, and he fucking did it. And, yeah, I was happy because I finally guessed a fucking Jake Matthews fight, because you just never know with that guy. I literally picked Prado in that fight, and Prado got his ass whooped for 3 rounds. And so Zellhuber, I can see that because Zellhuber is really good. We'll see how he can deal with the wrestling, because I think Prado's going to have better striking than Nikolai. Nikolai's coming off of a loss to Austin Vanderford, and if you lose to Austin Vanderford, I am not going to bet on you in the next fight. So yeah, we're going to go Prado. Now listen, Austin Vanderford, I'm just fucking around, right? I'm joking. He's good. But the styles, right? I think that Francisco would give more problems to Austin Vanderford than Nikolai would. So I'm gonna go Francisco Prado, probably by decision, either decision, maybe late TKO or submission. But if it does, the fight does get finished, it's late. It's like 3rd round finish. But I'm gonna go Nikolai. I think he's gonna gas, trying to wrestle Prado the whole time. Prado's gonna do good by getting out. Yeah, I'm going Prado. Next up, Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. Holy shit, that's on the fucking card. I did not know that. Fuck Marvin Vettori every single day of the week. Brendan Allen, let's go. Fuck this fucking Italian up. This boring ass motherfucker. Dude, I don't like Marvin Vettori. I don't like his attitude. I don't like the way he fights. He's a bum. Yeah, I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want to. I don't give a fuck. What? He's gonna find me and beat me up one day? Maybe. I don't care. I'm gonna still say whatever I want. Brendan Allen. I got Brendan Allen. I don't think he's gonna TKO him. Dude, low-key, though, this is the thing that sucks. Marvin probably could win because it's Brendan Allen. Like, we've seen Brendan Allen break before in, really tough fights, and Marvin Vettori does a really good job at just going forward and putting pressure. Even when he gets cracked, he still just goes forward, puts pressure with his wrestling. He doesn't really land a lot of strikes, but he strikes to grapple, right? And that kind of gasses guys out sometimes. So, man, I'm going to go Brendan Allen for sure. Probably by decision, maybe submission. It would be slick to see him submit Marvin Vettori. And Marvin Vettori, he has been cracked before where it looks like he's about to be on his way out, but just somehow people don't finish the fight. I think Brendan Allen will be putting himself in a firefight when he hurts Marvin Vettori, and I think he could finish him by submission or TKO. I would like to see a TKO. Next up, we got Vinicius Oliveira versus Kyler Phillips. This is going to be a really good fight. Kyler Phillips is really dynamic in his striking. He's got pretty decent wrestling. He's coming off of a loss in his last fight. Who did he fight last in his last fight? It was Rob Font. Now, if I remember clearly, did he really get beat by Rob Font, or was it was a unanimous decision? Okay, if it was a unanimous decision, then it was not a robbery, right? And Rob Font, he's kind of coming into his own too. He's kind of having a resurgence. But he has beat Munoz, and he has beat Barcelos and Rojo. Lost to Paiva. That's not bad. That's a good fight. And he beat Song Yadong. You can't forget that. He did beat Song Yadong by decision. That is pretty fucking insane because I did forget that. He's beaten a lot of fucking good dudes. I think he could pull it off because he's really exciting. He's really, he's got good striking. He might have the striking to frustrate Vinicius Oliveira, right? Because Vinicius Oliveira is a real old school, stay in one stance, classic striker. Phillips is everywhere. He's in, he's out, he's spinning, he's not spinning, he's throwing low kicks, high kicks, mixing up the targets everywhere. Let's see who Vinicius' last fight. Okay, so he beat what? Said Nurmagomedov? Is that Said? Is that who that is? Let me see. Yeah, Said. All right, so it seems like everybody beats Said Nurmagomedov. He's on a lot of guys. He's been beaten a lot by a lot of guys, 4 or 5 guys that I've seen in the past UFCs. What really stands out to me is this Ricky Simone win because Ricky is fucking good. He pushes the pace. He's got really good timing on the feet, got really good wrestling. So that's really good. He's only fought 3 times in the UFC, so that might be the difference maker. He's fought Sopaj is good too, but it's not Ricky Simone and Said Nurmagomedov, and he's beaten them by decisions. So I don't see him posing a finishing threat on Kyler Phillips, especially I don't think he's fought anyone like Kyler Phillips with the movement Kyler has, the striking, the dynamic striking Kyler has. So I'm going to go Kyler Phillips due to the sheer, he's just going to surprise them when they get out there. He's not going to be able to find his range correctly. He's not going to be able to find his timing. And I think Kyler's going to get the unanimous decision victory, if not maybe a split decision. I could see a 29-28. I could see Vinicius. Maybe if Vinicius goes in there and beats up Kyler's leg, right? Breaks his calf down to slow his movement down and slow his angles down. I would like to see that from Vinicius and then start using his boxing because he does have really good boxing. And keep Kyler in front of him. But Kyler is just going to have to use his kicks, right? Kick him in the head, kick him in the body, kick his leg, move around, kick him. Just always changing your target if you're Kyler Phillips, and then 1-2s down the pipe, right? Kick, move, right when he angles back in front of you or tries to catch you, 1-2, then roll. Get out of there. Nice and fast. Boom, in and out. Kick, move, 1-2, boom, out, move, feint, 1-2, kick, right? Move, body kick, boom, low kick, boom, head kick, boom, 1-2, boom, boom, right? Stuff like that. In and out. Touch, pull, return for Kyler Phillips. So I'm going Kyler Phillips for that one. All right, now we're going into the main card. We got Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellber. I'm going Daniel Zellber. I really like Michael Johnson. I've always liked him. He's been really good his entire career. Same thing, a lot of ups and downs. He's beaten a lot of really good guys, lost to a lot of really good guys, and some would say mediocre, whatever. I don't care. He's lost, he's won, he's a bad mofo. I just think Father Time catches up with everybody. He's on a 2-fight win streak, he's good, but I think Daniel is, coming off a loss. He hasn't fought in a while, and he's really good everywhere. But if he could keep Michael in front of him, because the thing is like, don't underestimate him just because he's old, because we all know Michael is still very fast, and he hits very hard still, right? We know that. And he's a fucking dog. If you've seen him train and spar, Michael Johnson is a fucking dog. I think Zellweger, though, he can't let that, he can't overestimate Michael Johnson, or underestimate him, sorry. He needs to go out there and prove a point. He needs to go out there and go, hey, this is my time, Michael Johnson, and go in there and take his ass out. Low kicks, calf kicks, straight 1-2s down the middle, getting your head off line so you don't run into Michael Johnson's left hand. A lot of kicks to the body because Johnson's going to go out there, southpaw? A lot of kicks to the body, a lot of kicks to the head. Make Johnson catch those body kicks, catch those head kicks with his left hand so he can't use it as much, and then, beat up his forearm so it's not going to be as powerful when he does throw those punches, right? So I'm going Daniel Zellweger by decision. Maybe a submission, but I'm going by decision. Next up, we got Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. Now, this one is honestly really easy for me to pick. I think I'm going Dan Ige if he shows up and starts the fight soon, right? He needs to show up and win round 1, win round 2, because I don't think Patricio is going to show up and try to, put the pedal to the metal, right? Patricio is very, very conservative in terms of fighting. He was even very conservative when he was in Bellator, okay? So if you're Dan Ige, just be on point, because Patricio does have good counter-striking knowledge. So Dan needs to be in and out. Just in and out, be all over him right from the get-go. Like, go in there, put his back against the cage, make him walk backwards, be in and out, touch, pull, return. Dan Ige has great combos, and he knows what touch, pull, return means. Pull counters, touching, feigning. He needs to get in there and get after it early. I don't like seeing Dan Ige fight late, right? Because he's so good that if he just starts a little more early and control the fight a little more early than he has in his last fight. I know his last fight was a last minute replacement fight, but I would like to see him go in there and take the first round early, take the second round, and then do whatever you want in the third round, because I don't think Patricio is really going to even be fighting at the end of the second or third round. So yeah, I'm going Dan Ige by either decision or maybe TKO, catching him on the feet. Now we're going Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez. I got Kevin Holland by decision or knockout. I do believe Kevin is better everywhere against Daniel. I think he's got a better gas tank. I think he's got better striking. I think he has better jiu-jitsu. The only way Kevin loses is if he lets Daniel crowd him with punches and then get on the inside and then box him, right? Kevin needs to stay. He needs to move his feet. Can't let Daniel get in. Don't let him crash in with you. Be first, be last. Strike and don't get struck, right? That's the plan. It's always the plan, but I think Kevin can do that with someone like Daniel Rodriguez's style, because Daniel, he doesn't really put combos or angles together as much as other fighters would. So I'm going to go Kevin Holland, and I could see Kevin Holland submitting Daniel Rodriguez too, but I don't think they're going to go to the ground. I don't think Daniel's going to shoot on Kevin Holland. That'd be the only way I think it would happen. Kevin catches like some kind of anaconda front headlock choke. I think Kevin's going to piece him up on the feet for 3 rounds, so I'm going Kevin by decision and then maybe a TKO. Next up, we got the co-main event, Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. I'm going Roman Kopylov. I think he's going to be a little bit better on the feet. I think he's going to frustrate Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa, he doesn't fight a lot anymore, and that does something when you're just not as active, and you got someone as active as Roman is on the feet, who's got a lot more volume than other fighters that Paulo has fought before. A lot more volume. He's long. He's going to be kicking a lot. He's going to be using straight punches. And, if Paulo Costa maybe walks him down for 3 rounds, Roman can gas out just from the sheer pressure and aura from Paulo Costa, because that does wear you down. When someone is just walking you down, walking forward, even if you're piecing them up, you can get a little gassed from that, right? Paulo Costa is still game, and he said he wants to bring back his old style, and his old style was slang and bang. Tuck your chin and just fucking throw. But, ever since that Izzy fight, he's never been the same. And, yeah, so I'm going Roman Kopylov, and, maybe it was the Yoel fight that changed Paulo Costa, right? Because that was a fucking war. Maybe it wasn't the Izzy fight, but, he did get, knocked out by Izzy. TKO'd at least. So it could have been both fights. It could have been the accumulation of that war with Yoel Romero, which nobody ever does. It's literally a war with a fucking robot. And then you got pieced up very bad against Prime Izzy. That's Izzy's my most favorite performance besides his Alex Pereira knockout is when Izzy beat Paulo Costa. So Roman Kopylov, though, I think I'm going to give him the advantage there on the feet for 3 rounds. It's 3 rounds, right? We got to take that into consideration. The fight's going to go by fast, so the more Paulo Costa isn't active, the more the fight gets away from him. So I'm thinking Roman Kopylov by unanimous decision. Now we got the main event of the evening. Max Holloway versus Dustin Porier for the BMF title. Hopefully Dustin Porier wins and he goes home with the title and they never bring the title back because the BMF belt is pretty fucking stupid. And it was only cool when Nate Diaz was the BMF. They should just give Nate Diaz the belt, like an honorary BMF champion, because he created the fucking belt. You know what I mean? And no one gives him credit for that. He fucking created that belt. And yeah, I think, really though, this is a close fight. MMA Guru, I'm going to disagree with you. He said Porier, it's his last fight, so he's not going to fight as hard. Right? He's not going to go out there and want to leave it all out there. I think that's the total opposite. I think he's going to want to go out on a win. Who doesn't want to fucking go out on a win? It's your last fight. You have nothing to lose. Go out there and fucking give it your all. It's your last one. You're going to you're going to be okay with yourself not giving it your all in your last fight. I don't think Dustin Poirier is built that way. I think he's going to go out there, give it his all. Even if it's a shitty performance, I guess you could have that, built-in excuse of, oh, well, I gave it my all, and you didn't really even do anything, right? I could see that. But I'm going Dustin Porier. Max Holloway has not won a rematch in any time he's fought someone in a rematch, right? He's lost to Volk twice and lost to Porier. So he's 0-3 in rematches. Maybe this is his Adesanya moment where he finally wins a rematch. Honestly, so this is my thing. I would lean more towards Holloway if this fight was right after the Gaethje fight. Right? Does that make sense? If this fight was right after him starching Gaethje, and then he goes, okay, Dustin Poirier, I'll fight you next. I'm not going to fight Ilya, go down and get knocked out, right? Because that was one of the biggest, most crucial errors of Max Holloway's career, in my opinion. And listen, I love that he doesn't say no to a fight. And, when you get offered a championship fight, you got to take it, especially if they give you a full training camp notice. But I just didn't like how he went up, fought Gaethje, looked like it was the best he's ever looked in his entire career against somebody that, everybody wrote him off with, and he pieced the fuck out of him for 5 rounds and then knocked his ass out in the last second of the fight. And his timing was beautiful. Everything was just beautiful, that fight. And, his body, he looked like a 55er. His body looked like he was filling in muscle. And then he goes back down to 45. Like, what are we doing? You just wasted all of that, muscle that you just built for Gaethje to go back down to Ilya. It just didn't make sense to me logically for Max Holloway to do that. And when that fight was announced, I immediately put on DraftKings Sportsbook Ilya by knockout because I didn't think the weight cut was going to be good for Max. You could see in his last couple fights with Volk and the Korean Zombie and those guys, he's had bad weight cuts. Like you can visibly see it on Max when he has a bad weight cut, right? His eye starts going this way. It's not great for Max. So I would be leaning more towards Max if it was right after the Gaethje fight. Not even more. I would 100% be leaning towards Max. But since it wasn't, and Porier, isn't Porier coming off of a win? Or am I... No, okay, so he lost to Islam in a 5-round war, and he got submitted in the 5th round, right? Islam's out there starching people. He lasted with Islam. He hasn't fought in a while, so that gave his body enough time to heal, right? So I think I'm going to go with Porier. I think it's going to go a little bit more like the second fight. But if Max has more in the tank and he could start letting off earlier than what he did in their second fight, because in the second fight, rounds 4 and 5, Max was looking really, really good. So if he can tighten up and get that going earlier, I think he's going to win. I think Max is going to win if the fight goes his way early. If it doesn't, it's going to be a war, and I think Dustin can pull it out. I think he can. But yeah, those are my picks. I got, final pick for main event, Dustin Poirier. Okay, I want to see him win in his last fight. I want to see him win a title, right? Air quote. Other than the interim championship or the regular championship, it'd just be cool seeing a moment of him getting a belt wrapped around his waist. That's one thing I always wanted Dustin Poirier. I always wanted him to win a belt. The official belt, not an interim belt. But either way, it's always good seeing him get a belt wrapped around his waist. I love Poirier. He's the man. I've been watching him since WEC. I discovered him in WEC, and then I watched a Netflix documentary about him a long, long time ago, over 10 years ago. Dustin is one of my favorite fighters of all time. So thank you, Dustin. We love you, man. Happy retirement. Get on all the roids. Get on all the Rogan juices. And yeah, dude, have a fucking awesome retirement. Thank you for all your fights. And yeah, everyone else, thank you guys for tuning in if you made it this long. Yeah, remember, you make sure to like, subscribe. We keep building this channel, man. We're on the road to 1,000 followers. So thank you guys so much. I know I don't have the biggest platform of all time, but it really means a lot just getting 10, 12, 15, 20 views. I have some videos that went semi-viral. I had some videos that hit 500 views, 1,000 views. I got one video that hit it's like almost at 30K. So that's cool. But like, I don't do it for none of that. I just do it because I love doing this. So thank you guys for supporting me. And yeah, peace out, everybody. I will see you sometime soon. I'll be going live probably. And then, yeah, we'll be doing a lot more stuff in the near future. So peace out, everybody.